Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Annual Freedom. And really happy to be here with you. My name is John LoPresto. I am a Diamond Ambassador with New You Life. I've been here for 5.5 years. I was one of the founding diamonds of the company, and proud to say my ID number is 197. So I got involved with this company back in December of 2017. And my story is it's pretty unique, but I love to share my little journey. I am a musician. I did that for 30 something years. I've got my minor in music and a major in health sciences. When I got out of college, I just instantly kind of became a little hustler. I just did my own thing. Wasn't a big fan of the corporate model or the industrial age idea of working a 40-hour work week for 40 years. It just wasn't going to be in my wheelhouse. So I worked for a beauty supply distributor for a little bit. I became a certified personal trainer, and I did my music gigs. So I always had a few things going, and I enjoy multiple streams of income. And that's why I've been preaching this for years with direct sales and network marketing. So back in 2007, I got with a company called Up to Earth. And we had a nice little 2-year run. And unfortunately, our founder of the company did not surround himself with the right people. And that company closed its doors. And I went into a company called Viridian Energy, and we marketed electricity and natural gas for 8 years. That's what I did. And I was one of the top income earners there and loved the culture we created. It was green energy for less money. But I learned a lot about that space, that the margins were very thin, and that there was the variability of weather, and we had a lot of competition. So at the end of 2017, I get a phone call from corporate, and they say, hey, we want you to come up to the corporate office in Connecticut, and we have a big announcement. And they announced that they were closing their doors. And fortunately for us, this beautiful leveraged model, they paid us out all of 2018, 19, 20, and 21 on our existing customers. So that's the essence of residual income. In 2017, 2 weeks after that meeting, and they closed the doors, I got a phone call about NUL, New You Life, our company, and this product that they affectionately call the gel. And I remember getting the phone call from Kenny Olson, and he would not tell me what it was. He was very aloof. He was just, he was just being very vague and saying, listen, I can't speak to it. Will you get on a phone call tomorrow with our founder, Alexi Goldstein? And I said, sure, I would love to. And I got on with the CEO of the company and got some questions answered. And I was shot out of a cannon because I heard for the first time that this gentleman created a product that was the first of its kind in the world, a microdose of human growth hormone available in a transdermal remedy, transdermal gel that you rub on, created in an FDA registered lab. It's got a GMP, which is a good manufacturing practices seal of approval. It's made right here in this country, whole leaf botanicals. This is a 10 to 12 week process to brew a product like this. And it is designed to balance your endocrine system. There's 3 glandulars and 20 botanicals. And let me tell you folks, I was so excited to get my hands on it. This was the original bottle right here. Human growth hormone in a pump bottle. Now, I have experience because I injected human growth hormone back in 2014 when I turned 50. I was going to lie and say when I turned 70, you'd all be enamored with how young I look, but no. I turned 50 in 2014, and I went to an endocrinologist and had a great experience with the injectable, but I knew it was very expensive and it builds up in the system. So when I heard that there was a transdermal version of it, I was excited. So immediately I waited for Kenny to get me a link, and I ordered my product, and I got it on the 27th of December, and something amazing started to happen. My phone started to ring, and people were calling me up that I turned onto the product and were raving about their experience, sleeping better, feeling better, more energy, less discomfort, more mobility in their shoulder, arthritic feet feeling better, someone's tendonitis, Kevin's tendonitis feeling better. And I was really blown away. So I knew not only do we have something that was pretty amazing, but we got to bring this to the world. And in that first year, we sold 500,000 bottles, and this company was born. We did 60 million in sales. And for you folks out there that are new in a direct sales space, network marketing, a good year, first year, is about 10, $15 million. We did 60 million. In the second year, we did 150 million, and we were voted the fastest growing young company in that home-based business model. So I want to just share this with you because this is a model for leverage. The opportunity to take something like this to market that can help both men and women, young and old, feel better, function better, look better, sleep better, recover quicker, have less discomfort in their joints, increase libido, sense of well-being. There are 40 known benefits associated with elevated levels of HGH. So this product has not only been delivering, but here we are, fast forward 5.5 years, we sold over 8 million bottles, did well over 700 million in sales, and we're in 15 countries now. So people are really chomping at the bit to learn more about the company, because post-COVID, folks, I am telling you something. This new way of making money is the only way, for me, it's the only way to build leverage. I think of John Paul Getty saying, I would rather have 1% of the effort of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. That resonated with me years ago. And I fell in love with this model. I'm going to show you a little book I have right here called Making the First Circle Work. Okay. And it's all about distribution. And it's all about this incredible business we call direct sales. We get the opportunity to take this to the world without the overhead of a traditional business. Now, that's what kept me from doing regular business. I didn't want to do real estate because if a deal fell through, I wasn't going to be compensated. I didn't want to open a business because I didn't have the capital to start a business for $250,000, $300,000. Never mind the operational capital, never mind inventory, employees, payroll, liability, a lease payment, insurance, all of the stuff that goes with the business. What I love about network marketing is that for a few $100s, we have a turnkey business that we get started. We have our own replicated site, and we get to share our story with the world. So it really is just, it's kind of show and tell. And all we're really doing is just basically we're telling people that there is a product you need to see. Would you please take a look at a video? When we share the marketing material, most people are intrigued because it's a 50-50 thing with HGH. Some people have a knee-jerk reaction and they have an aversion to it and they hear scary things, okay? Do not compare this with injectable HGH. This is not hormone replacement therapy. This is not exogenous hormones that you're putting in your body. This product is designed to work within the framework of our own endocrine system by stimulating our thyroid, our adrenals, our pituitary hypothalamus to produce healthy amounts of hormone to balance our glandular system and put us in hormonal balance. And in doing so, I can't say it turns back the hands of time, but God, do I feel better at 58 turning 59? I did 2 workouts today. I'm leaner than I've been in a while. I'm doing my intermittent fasting. Unfortunately, my building here has no hot water during the day, so I'm taking cold showers, which I hear is a great thing for your body. It's great for inflammation. It's great for HGH too. It's great for burning calories. So there's a lot of biohacking going on with people. People are changing their diet. They're supplementing. People that are my age don't want to grow old horribly. They don't want to be debilitated. They want to feel young. And they want to be active. I want to be active in my 60s, my 70s. I mean, Lou Paradis, who is a master formulator, who sits on our scientific advisory board, is so full of energy. He's on no medication, takes no medication whatsoever, no prescription meds. He's 77 years old, and he's vibrant. He's vibrant. So we want to follow in this path, in his footsteps. But there's an actual business here, and I just want to go real quick. I just want to show you something real quick. I'm going to go to screen share. Can you guys see my screen? Right? Cool. From the current slide. Okay, can you guys see this? Let's see. Can you see that, Ken?
See a small picture.
It's a very small picture.
Yeah.
It's blank and says the origin.
Yep.
I have
The
it on
bottom
my full
left, you have
screen.
images that are showing up, the old bottle and the new bottles.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, let's get out of screen share because that's not working at all. That was weird. I have a full screen and you don't. So forget about the slides. Let's just talk about the opportunity. And I said before about leverage model. I think if you're not taking advantage in this day and age of technology and you're not building leverage for your own family, for yourself, it's very hard in this economy to keep up with cost of living, especially now with food prices, fuel prices, energy prices. It's really, really difficult. And I think everyone understands that we're going through a very difficult time. So there's not a lot of money at the end of the month. In fact, I heard the saying, there's too much month at the end of the money. So what would it do for most people to have an extra $1,000 a month just coming in residual income, something that you could build and make your own? See, in my experience, I've learned that this is the kind of industry where you just have so much support from everyone in the organization. People have a vested interest in training you, bending over backwards to take calls for you, to coach you, to mentor you, to do Zooms together, three-way phone calls, to actually teach you the way of the way of the world, so to speak, when it comes to this business. And it is a learn as you go opportunity. So you don't have to dive in and be a know-it-all. And that's why we love when we show this business like we're doing tonight. We have Zooms. We say, listen, we've got a guy who's a formulator. He's a master formulator. We've done close to 800 million in sales, but we're still the best kept secret. In fact, this product is 20 years old and most people don't know about it. So if you think about that strategically from a business standpoint, we are in a quadrant, and I love to do this. And then I'm going to pass it over to Kenny because Kenny has a lot of insight, but we kind of share a brain sometimes when it comes to this stuff because we talk about the same thing. But I heard something years ago about cash flow quadrant from Robert Kiyosaki, and he talks about different ways to make income. And I love this because this model just shows that we're in the best space when it comes to investing in a business. Okay. So what it looks like is this. You have 4 quadrants: low risk, low reward, low risk, high reward, high risk, high reward, high risk, low reward. High risk, low reward is absolutely ridiculous. Why would anyone take a lot of exposure up front for nothing on the back end? Doesn't really make sense. You wouldn't invest a ton of money to make a little money or a ton of your time. So we can scratch that off the list. Okay. How about high risk, high reward? Most of us don't have the money to invest in a restaurant right now or a venture that's going to cost us $350,000, $400,000 with the potential for that business to go under in 2 years. So low risk, low reward. That really doesn't make any sense. Very little money in, very little on the back end. Why should I get involved? We are the quadrant of low risk, high reward, and that is network marketing. If I were just to sit down with a brand new person and say, why do I choose to do this business? Because I'm in a model that only cost me a few $100s to get started. I'm getting free mentorship. I have no inventory, no overhead, no payroll, no liability, no employees. And I made $2 million in the last 5 years doing this business on a $1,000 investment. So it has been a game changer for me. It's a game changer for anyone that's doing the business that understands we're a microwave society. So people think, okay, I want to go at it. And why am I making a lot of money within 6 months? Some people do, some people don't. But we build this over time. This is one of those businesses where you put your best foot forward, you plug in, and you learn as you go, and you have the potential to build residual income on something you did years ago. And Kenny and I had the opportunity to work together. Kenny was my number one guy in the energy space when we opened up Massachusetts. And I'd love for you to share a little of that story with everybody, KO.
Sure. Thanks, JLo. Always good to hear you. JLo and I have traveled extensively together. We did sustainability missions around the world, and I inevitably had the good fortune of shadowing him. So he was the top person on my mind when I heard about this business, and the timing was pretty impeccable. We had been involved with deregulated energy, and from 2011 to 2017, in December of 17, we get a phone call that the company that we're with is shuttering the network marketing arm, that they were going to move in a direction direct to consumer and cut out the expense of paying our commissions. And they did pay us up until 2021, but at a significant discount. But what it did do, I got a phone call from Chris Cavadon, and Chris asked me a really simple question. He said, "What do you know about HGH?" And I thought that it was controversial, it was expensive, doctor supervised. I associated it with doping and cheating and scandal because of Lance Armstrong, who was winning Tour de France's in his 40s with blood doping, and the home run race back in the late 90s with Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire, and they were using injectable growth hormone. And so that was my association. And that's what I said to Chris when he asked me. He said, "No, I'm not talking about that." He said, "I'm talking about something I have never seen before. I'm talking about a homeopathic transdermal gel." And he said, "I don't even know if it works. I've been talking to the formulator. I watched a really short video. I've had an opportunity to speak to some people that have been using it." He said, "I'm thinking about ordering it." And this is how innocent this was. The company soft launched in late November of 17. I'm hearing about this on my 52nd birthday, December 15th, 2017. Chris and I were involved in a real estate deal, a big one, the biggest one of my lifetime. And he was developing it and I was brokering it. And I thought he was calling to wish me a happy birthday and talk about the deal. And then he weaves in, "What do you know about HGH?" We had already had a conversation that our focus was going to be real estate. He knew that I had a 7-year run in deregulated energy. He had a network marketing background, but I did not have any experience with Chris with network marketing. But what he did say to me, he said, "Let's just stick to real estate." He said, "I don't want to ever have to do anything ever again that I have to apologize for." And that was how he associated getting involved with the wrong network marketing company. So when he presented this to me, it wasn't to pitch me on getting involved. He hadn't gotten involved. He was more curious if this stuff works. We were both 52 at the time. He was going to be 52 in a couple of days, December 17th. So he had said to me, "You and Christine try it. Laura and I will try it. And then let's report back to each other." And very similar to what you talk to anyone today, they generally want to try it before they're going to introduce it to their relationships. So I ordered the gel on December 18th. And I remember this because the gel's transformative. A lot of people remember when they started gelling. So I ordered it on December 18th. I got it on December 20th. And I started gelling that evening. And I had what I know now is a gel experience. I had a really vivid dream Saturday into Sunday. So I'm 4 or 5 days into my gel journey is what we call it. And I'm thinking, I woke up to a concert. It felt like a concert that was being performed for me in color, in stereo. And I thought, wow, maybe it's the gel, but I didn't know. Sunday, I pick up the phone and I call my friend Mark, who's John's friend. And I said, Mark, Christine and I just started using HGH. And he said, I can't go anywhere near that. And so I pretty much stop in my tracks. I can't explain that it's over the counter, it's transdermal, it's homeopathic. It has a 16-year track record. It's FDA registered. It has a national drug code. I know all of these things today, but I couldn't spout any of this off. So as soon as Mark turned me down, I said, I'm going to call John. And so when I called John, I said to John, Christine and I just started using a product that you need to know about. And this is really important that you pick up on this particular piece. And so John said, tell me about it. And I said, I can't talk to you intelligently about it. I don't even know if it works. And from that point forward, John said, well, can you get someone on the phone that can explain it to me? And I said, yeah, I can arrange that. So that's what I did. And that's exactly what I would task everyone that's hearing my voice to do. And when John heard it from someone that could explain it, I got to hear it too. And so when I remember lining the call up, I said, John, I'll line a call up and we can both learn about it at the same time. And so that's what you can do with your friends or people that you're trying to introduce the gel to versus explaining it. Today, we have unbelievable content to share. I personally like to use the iDecide because I think the iDecide does as comprehensive an explanation as there is. And that's what I try to get in front of people. So if anyone gets
Kenny,
yes.
if I can interject real quick, you said something about the call. It's so important for new folks and people that are learning the business to understand why we do a three-way call and how important it is. It's like an on-the-job training call, but it also takes you out of the equation. So when you bring someone on the phone, and let's say I was connecting Jessica with Kenny, and Kenny was brand new, and Jessica was in the business, and she said, I really want you to meet Kenny. And she edified me and then edified Kenny and set up a call, and Kenny got to see the video. And I got on the phone just to answer questions. I knew he was a real estate guy, so I spoke a little bit about that and about being New England. I talked about maybe the Red Sox a little bit with him. We just have a little commonality. And then I go, so what'd you like most about it? And then we get a little granular, but I answer his questions. And I get just to try to get him to feel, hey, okay, maybe we can move forward here, because we're just in the business of decisions. We want someone to say yes, no, and maybe not. For Kenny and I, think about this. Kenny and I just had our company close its doors after 8 years. So the timing was perfect because we were ready to make a move. For some people, the timing is not perfect. They're just in between something. Getting back to the three-way, now let's just say, for example, I just do the call with Kenny and Jessica's quiet the whole time. Jessica sat there the whole time and got to hear how I answered objections and maybe a few different things. So she's learning. But then more importantly, Kenny realizes what just happened here. Jessica shared a 4-minute video with me, got me on the phone with someone else to answer questions for me. I could do that all day long. So that's what Kenny and I started to do with people, just because we only had a 1.5-minute video and it was about just bringing people up to speed. But we're doing it for a reason, to show people that everyone could do this if they just tap into the resources. And Kenny said it before with the iDecide. We have a piece of material, marketing material, that does the heavy lifting for you. Just wanted to interject, Ken.
Sure. So being intentional, being deliberate, being strategic, all very important. When I'm talking to someone, I was talking to someone today, and I asked her specifically if there was someone that she wanted to introduce this to. And she said, yeah, there is. And my question to her was, do they respect you and do they take you seriously? And that can be a pointed question for some people that could actually take offense to it. But how you're perceived by the person that you're talking to is really important to understand. And I think a lot of people might go into it thinking, oh, this person respects me, and maybe they don't, and maybe they do. But who are we looking for? We're looking for people that respect us and for people that will take us seriously. And you're looking for people who other people respect and who other people will take seriously. So this is a $59 business. Everyone on the phone knows on the Zoom knows it's a $59 business. And I think the mistake we can make is we didn't pay $100,000, or John was talking about a $250,000 business. The business that I ran, I kept me up at night. In order for me to keep alive, I had to liquidate a 401k plan that was 6 figures. I had to put a mortgage on my house. I didn't have a mortgage on my house. And I had to cut into my savings to make payroll, to run my operation. And would I do that today? Absolutely not. At the time I did it, but I've learned, at that time I was 37, now I'm 57. I put my company in front of my family is how I can look at it today. And in my opinion, it was a mistake, but it's what I did. So as far as really important, building your competency, building your confidence will build your compensation. How do you build your competency? You get on a call like this. You take notes. You hear a talk track, and then you think, wow, that made sense to me. I can use that talk track. And no begging. Anyone that knows me, I talk about begging all the time. You can't build your business from your knees. So the three-way call is shadowing. In real estate, I got my license in 1989. My sister got hers in 1986. The phone would ring. I would run to her desk and listen to how she talked to a buyer. I would listen to how she talked to a seller. And this business is no different. The problem with this business is it's only $59 and we just don't respect it to the level that it needs to be respected. John is a 7-figure earner over here. I'm a 7-figure earner over here. And it's, completely on the side of my real estate career. I never invested such little money for such an unbelievable return. But that's what we have. We have lightning in a bottle, complete exclusivity, first to market, 1/10 the cost of the alternative. It's safe. It has efficacy. It has a track record, and it's the holy grail, I believe, of an opportunity.
Checking the boxes.
Every box.
I mean, literally checks every box. If you're a business person, or you're new to business, or you're looking to get into a venture and you want to tap into residual income, because I live for it. As soon as I experienced it 13, 14, maybe 15 years ago, even at $350 a month, I was addicted to it. It was mailbox money. And then when it got to 10,000 a month, it was life-changing. It's when you check all of those boxes, the leader of the company, the industry, we're self-funded. We have a track record. We're first to market. We have no competition. The price point is perfect. The compensation plan, the field leadership. You go down and on and on and on and on. We vet this. That's why we're here. It's like we've said before, we had a meeting before, and Kenny and I said, there's no fluff in the language. We don't have to exaggerate the numbers or add fillers. There's no fillers. The track record is there, and I have dear friends of mine who still haven't used the gel. My sister has a thyroid condition, still hasn't used the gel. I have people sitting on the fence, and I just go, I can't believe, with a money back guarantee and a 20-year track record, you're sitting there and you're not at least giving it a try for your own benefit. So some won't, but some will. And somebody's waiting right now just to hear from us. So I think, Kenny, you want to just give away some product?
Yeah, we want to give away product. I want to close with two things. Some people have a product approach. Some people have a building a business approach. I tend to use both. So if someone offers that they didn't sleep well last night, for me to weave, that's a layup for me. But knowing how to finesse that into a conversation. So someone says, hey, no, I didn't sleep well last night, or they're yawning. It is very easy for me just to say, you know what, I came across something that might help. And then wait for them to ask, well, what is it? Let me send you a really short video that can explain it better than I can. And then from the income approach, if someone's talking about, there's, the income that they're earning is not cutting it for the expenses that they have, ask the simple question. Do you keep your income options open? The simple question, are you money motivated? And then once you start to have that type of dialogue, I would finesse getting one of your strategic business partners on the phone in order, to have a dialogue. The whole dialogue point is to get the I decide in front of the person or get something in front of them to pique interest. And then you can get them on a Zoom like this, so I appreciate you guys listening, and let's go ahead and give away some product, Jessica. You got the wheel up?
You should be in control.
I do.
Wow. Kenny, she's taken over, Ken. You're done. Sit, buddy.
She's good. So just so you all know, if you are a distributor, for every guest that you have on, your name gets to go on the wheel up to 3 times. So these gel bottles go to the distributors tonight. So speak now, unmute yourself if you don't see your name on the wheel, or if it needs to be, sometimes the wrong name can go on the wheel. So let's go ahead and reconcile it.
Can you put Darlene Quinn on the wheel? Don't see it.
And John too.
Anybody
Hello?
else? Yes.
Rashida Pot. Rashida.
Rashida.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. She might win 2 times. She won last night, or her guest won last night. I just said
my name's
that to
down there.
corporate.
My name's not on there.
I'm sorry,
My name's not on there. My name's Kevin.
Kevin. Okay, let's add Kevin.
No, Kevin's my guest. Kevin,
Okay.
if I win tonight, the bottle's going to you, honey.
Oh, you
Okay.
all right? Yeah.
All right, so are we ready to start spinning? Anybody else? Okay, let's do it.
Oh, wow. We have a soundtrack,
Yay.
Kenny. I don't know, buddy.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't know,
Jessica,
dude.
so
We
I'm
got
gonna have to look
fireworks
into
and
this.
soundtracks. I mean,
Congratulations.
So
congrats.
Simone, congratulations. You had a winner last
Congratulations,
night
everybody.
too.
I did. Thank you.
I think
Woo.
Simone's breaking a winning record.
I am.
Beautiful.
Woo.
Okay, second, we're doing two bottles, second spin of the night.
Here we go.
Come on, darling. Let's win.
This one even has sound effects, Kenny. I don't know what you're doing, buddy. Dawn. Congrats,
Oh,
Dawn.
yeah. Congratulations.
So wait a sec, don't go anywhere. Simone, I have your information. Dawn, do I have your information? So,
I'm not sure. I can text it to you.
Dawn, what's your last name?
DeRocher, D-U-R-O.
Oh, of course, Dawn, I know who you are.
I know, that's
Definitely
why-
have each other's information. I was confusing you with somebody else. I apologize. So, I'll go, actually, Simone, text me your address, where you want the bottle sent, and then Dawn, text me your address where you want the bottle sent, and we'll coordinate that. Okay?
Oh.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much. Simone, congratulations. Dawn, congratulations, ladies, for winning this evening and participating. And that's it. It's about participation. It's about showing up. It really is. This is not a lot of your life. It doesn't have to be 20, 30, 40 hours. When someone says, I'm doing something part-time, what does the average person think part-time job is? 20 hours a week. This is part-time. This is 7, 8 hours a week. This is weaving it in your schedule, doing a call from the car, sitting outside your house before you come in and getting a couple calls in, getting on a Zoom here and there, maybe working on a Saturday, an hour or two, getting your list together. This is just sharing some information with people because you never know who is looking. And you know, the old Wayne Gretzky, I love this line, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So someone's out there waiting for you. And I said this on our last Zoom this afternoon. I said, if 650,000 people were using the gel in the United States, we would be $1 billion brand with just one product, and it would represent 0.25% of the population. It would be 1/4% of the population. We would still fly under the radar. We don't need to be a household name for us to make a huge impact on people's lives. So thank you for showing up. We'll see you next week, or we'll see you on the Gel and Towel, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your
Nice
week.
job, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Have a great night, folks.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.